in terms of first efficiency, second roominess, and third unique proportion for our stylist. And I would like to go in detail for these three topics. First, efficiency. You can see that the platform is have a flat floor, and that's very important. It's a skateboard. We call that a skateboard type layout. And you have the battery at the center of the underframe. This battery pack have three capacities: 40 kilowatt hour, 60 kilowatt hour, and up to 87 kilowatt hour, depending, of course, on the wheelbase. For the MeganE that we revealed yesterday, we will have 40 kilowatt hours, and in this case, 60 kilowatt hours energy on board. Thanks to this level of energy and the energy density, we can reach 450 kilometers range in EV mode, and up to 300 kilometers on highway conditions at 120 kilometers per hour. So that's very good results, making our cars really versatile. In terms of efficiency, I would like also to point out this new engine, which is 160 kilowatt engine. It's what we call a 3-in-1. So you have here the engine. Behind the in direct current conditions, and that gives you can charge 200 kilometers in 20 minutes. So after a coffee break on the highway, you can go on your travel. That was for efficiency. So in a nutshell, we can see that we are really at the state of the art regarding the electrical system on this platform. Regarding roominess, I would like to show you how we have packaged the HVAC, so the air conditioning system, in the platform. You can see that it's inside the engine compartment, so it gives more space in the compartment. And thanks to the long wheelbase and this very special layout, we can have a very good roominess. So just to give you an order of magnitude, the Megan, the new MeganE that we revealed yesterday, it has a 4.21 meter long and is as roomy as a car with 15 centimeters longer, which would be 15 centimeters longer with, of course, an ICE internal combustion engine layout. So that is to say that in terms of engine compartment, in terms of rotor roominess, so knee space for the rear passenger, and of course for the front passenger, you have the same space with 4.2 meters than a conventional car with ICE, which would be at 4.3 meters long. So that's, of course, very important for our customers. And last but not least, what I would like to point out is the proportion of the car that you can have with this platform. Thanks to the very small overhang that you have in the front, the very long wheelbase, we were able to put the wheels at the corner of the car, and that's a dream for the designer. On top of that, we can offer wheel diameter that goes from 680 up to 740 millimeter range. And all in all, thanks to that, we can have a very brand new CMF-EV platform. Is dedicated for BEV only. It has, in terms of state-of-the-art, very good efficiency, very good roominess, and also very good proportion for our stylings, because at the end of the day, styling is very important for our customer. So Amélie, I hand over back to you for the Q&A session.
Many thanks, Gilles, for this detailed presentation. So now you can send us your question. I already received some of them. So we will start with the first one. Gilles, which segment will be covered by the platform?
Well, it's a C segment platform, so we can go in terms of lengths. We can start, I would say, around 4 meters long. but we can be as long as 4.7 or even more meter long. That is to say that we can address the C segment, I would say hatch segment, but also SUV, up to small D segment cars. And thanks, on top of that, thanks to the wider wheelbase and the 87 kilowatt-hour battery pack, of course, we can keep a very good range in terms of ZEV mode.
Very clear. I'm not sure to well understand the question. What about LCV and Alpine? I suppose it's, are we able to do LCV and Alpine cars on this platform?
No. LCV, I think that LCV stays in multi-energy platform because that's obvious. So we need to accommodate diesel, but also battery electric vehicles on those LCVs. But we are also contemplating and working a lot on H2, so hydrogen, in order to have a wide offer of technologies. So regarding Alpine, of course, the Alpine team is contemplating this platform, perhaps with much power, but it's too early to talk about that.
Any details on the cell and chemistry?
Yes, the supplier of the cells is LG Chemical. It's so for the specialists, sorry for the others, it's an NMC cathode materials 721. So for those that knows, it's only 10% cobalt inside. And I would say that the energy density is quite high because we can have up to 270 watt-hour per kilogram. So as I said, we are really at the state of the art in terms of technology.
That's impressive. How did you manage to get the battery pack that thin?
Well, we work from the very beginning on this topic because we wanted to have a quite, it's not low roof car, but reasonable, I would say, height for the car. And so we work hardly on this one. We wanted to have the skateboard, but at the same time to be able to have, I would say, not too many drag coefficient, because that's key, of course, for the usage of the car. And so we work a lot with our colleague from LG Chemical. And I can say that comparing to the competitors, we are among the thinner battery over the place.
And you know well about the other competitors. Any details on price reduction with this platform?
Well, BEV cars anyway will remain. We are working day after day in order to make this technology affordable, but for sure, for I would say the 10 to 15 years to come, it will stay and remains a bit more expensive than ICE technology. But you know that at the same time, due to CO2 regulation, ICE will have to implement a bit of electrical power, so a kind of hybridization. So at the end of the day, it's sure that this type of technology, because of the battery, is more expensive than current ICE. But I think that in the next future, we could see something very close. So we are working hardly, as I said, in terms of reducing the cost. Today, what I can say is we were able, thanks to the Alliance, so we are selling 9 million cars, we were able to develop this platform dedicated to EV. And that's very important because it's due to the volume of cars that we are launching. And together with Nissan, Mitsubishi, and Renault, we want to launch a set of cars that will enable to reduce the cost. But for a while, it will stay, I would say, more expensive than conventional ICE systems.
Right. What is the biggest battery capacity the platform can handle, Gilles?
Well, I answered that during my presentation. It is 87 kilowatt-hour. But you know, it's not a matter of today's values, because every 18 months to 2 years, you see the increase of the power density of the batteries, thanks to chemistry improvement. So it's, as of today, it's 40, 60, 87 kilowatt hour. But thanks to the improvement of the battery chemistry, we will be also with the same, what we call cocoon, so volumes of the battery pack, we will be able to increase the power inside. Or to stick at the same power, but gain cost and offer it to the customer.
What is the minimum maximum length of the platform? Maybe you also...
Yes, I answered that to order of magnitude, because we can, of course, tune. It's between 4 meters and 4.7 meters, so a big range.
Is CMF-EV only made of steel, like Volkswagen MEB, or is there aluminum like Tesla?
Well, it's a tailor-made platform, I would say. So it's mainly on steel, so high-strength steel, hot stem steels, continuous bonding also. But you have different aluminum parts, especially, for example, for the suspension, the engine, the motor suspension. You can have also some parts of chassis part. The triangle is made of for the Pseudo McPherson is the lower arm is made out of aluminium. So you have some for the platform itself, you have some spot of aluminium. But I would say that for the upper body on the Megan-E, all the doors are made of aluminium. So we know that it will be what we can see from the competitor and recent competitor. We can see that we are very efficient regarding weight. We are targeting around 1,650 kilograms for the Megan-E, which is very competitive. So we did a huge work, and Jean-Paul Drey, the leader of this platform and its team, did a huge work regarding weight mastering.
Thanks. What kind of suspension for the rear axle?
Well, I will enlarge. So it's a Pseudo McPherson for the front and multi-link axle on the rear. But because it's an electric platform, so it has to be very smooth. We have to have a very good road touch. We need also to avoid any road noise. And so all the two axles are fully filtered. So on bushing mounted, for example, the front axle is bushing mounting. That will give a very good road touch and low road noise, both on the front and in the rear.
And last question, sorry. How is the battery pack cooled?
Well, it's a water cool, but what I missed to say during my global explanation is that we have a heat pump that, of course, take care of the passenger area, but also have the opportunity to master the battery pack temperature. So we have the two systems in order also to be efficient and to increase the ZEV mode.
Many thanks, Gilles, and many thanks online for this roundtable. I hope we answered all your questions. And thanks again. Thanks, Gilles.
Bye-bye.
Bye.